Join Hans and Scotty noon to 3 today at Tim Dolly Nissan Southtown, 11155 South Jordan Gateway in South Jordan. Tim Dolly, home of the forever warranty.
That's a long time, man. And Kalani Sitake will be coaching at BYU longer than that warranty.
How long you got Kalani down for now?
30, 40.
Okay. Maybe 50 years.
Not 50.
Not 50.
No.
Kalani pushing 90.
Still hugging media members.
There it is.
Man, you had a long embrace. I thought, my gosh, are you going to let him go?
No, I was recounting something with him. It was a moment we shared a long time ago.
Jeez, I know, but ear to ear?
Didn't want to.
I couldn't pry you two apart.
You could have. You're very strong. I mean, it's bench day like every other day.
Yeah, but I mean, those are
leg day, bench day, leg day, bench day, leg day, bench day.
You know,
Kalani's staying. How happy are you, BYU fans?
Happy days are here again. The sky is blue.
Basically, that's what Kerry says. So happy! 3 exclamation points. Kalani is our guy! Exclamation point. Rick gave it a so happy with 6 O's and 3 P's.
Happy, happy day. Kalani's
Lane
here to stay.
is elated.
He's elated.
Todd sees it as a group deal. Hey, as long as Jay Hill stays, I'll be stoked.
Well, you have to allow all assistants the opportunity to move on if a head coaching job comes their way or an opportunity that they deem is better. That's fairly common in the business.
Mike says, I love Kalani Sitake, but perhaps the best part of keeping him is the promises regarding funding for the program. Retaining Sitake wasn't about paying Sitake more money.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he has the inside information.
It's partially about paying Sitake more money. But yes, more support.
What the heck
for
did
the
I go
rest of the
down there
program.
for and try to talk to a bunch of people off to the side for if I could have just read that post?
That's actually an excellent thought. Why did you just stay home, stay warm?
Yeah.
Quit driving around sleet-covered freeways. What are you doing?
As soon as that thing was over, I immediately went up to multiple people. Okay, give me the scoop.
Would you like to repeat anything you were told in those moments?
That the staff, several of them, absolutely thought they were gone.
It was that close.
Mm-hmm. And
the offer was that good, and it was taken that seriously.
Yeah. And another one said it came right down to the buzzer. So combined with staff members telling me we thought we were going, and then somebody else saying it came right down to the buzzer. Okay, that's just, I'm passing along information, but that gives you an indication for our listeners that, yes, it was right there to be had, and BYU did what it did. They needed to do what they did, or he would have been gone. I think it would have been reluctant, but if you go back and listen, and he says, I'm a competitor, what he's saying is, I want to win at the highest level, and BYU needed to step up for me to see I can do it here. And once that became apparent, I said, okay, because this was my preference to stay, but they had to meet the criteria that needed to be met. And in Kalani's eyes, they did, which is all that matters. And so away we go. So I think this is a good day we talk to fans. Fans are the guys and ladies who have paid my salary. And I am very indebted to them, the ones who are literally listening right now. And for them, this is great news because they're the fans. I'm just a fan myself. I never played that. I never went hat on hat. And my fingernails have never had dirt.
Except for your freshman year at Thunderbird High.
Right, but I sat the bench because I never put hat on hat. Okay. And I only did that because I literally did not know a soul.
Didn't know anybody.
And I was 2,500 miles away from my comfort zone. And so I had no one desire to do it,
right.
But I knew I needed to get some friends.
And you were too small to do it.
And, yeah, and that helped me meet some guys.
Who like sports.
Right.
Had something in common with them.
Right. I also played freshman basketball and freshman baseball. And if I could have played freshman tennis, I would have. So I'm nothing but a fan, and a fan who has access, and I speak to the fans, and they should be ecstatic over this. That A, he's staying, although I might even say B, he's staying. I may say A, that they have made a major investment to get this program to compete at a level that has changed so drastically in the last 3-4 years. And you need to do this, and they're doing it. And I think it's great. BYU talks about always, we want to win at the highest level. We want to do it the BYU way. And I get that. I get the guys like Bron Santiago, who have a position of authority, but yet still report to authority, need to please and appease the authority by saying the BYU way. Even though that BYU way is not the way it used to be. I mean, just look at the complexions of the team and how many LDS kids are on the team, how many are not. There's always going to be, particularly in football. They're fortunate in football that they can have a fair amount of LDS guys because the Polynesians, there's not a lot of great Polynesian basketball players. Let's just call it like it is, right? But there's
hard to argue that with PK.
Of Polynesian football players, and a lot of them are LDS, so they can still have a significant LDS influence on the football team. Basketball, if you want to win at the highest level, not so much. And that's what we have right here with this complexion of the team. I'm not saying it's wrong or bad. I don't give a crap what they do, but that's the reality of it. So they have to win the BYU way, and then you have to get these kids that are not LDS to understand the BYU way and at least say, yeah, okay, I'm okay with it. And then fine, you're more than welcome here, especially if you're a really good player. And away they go. So they have to say the BYU way. Aside from that, and that's not anything to ignore, you need to have great athletes. We were having that discussion yesterday with Alex and JJ with Lane Kiffin. Sure, it's going to hurt, but I'd rather have the players there than Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was a bum at 2 other places. Now, all of a sudden, he's a genius.
And Lane Kiffin, I think it's pretty easy to argue, is leaving Ole Miss and going to LSU because he thinks he can get even better players at LSU than he can get at Ole Miss. And he's got pretty good players at Ole Miss, and he's ridden the players to where he is. But he's thinking, I want to win more.
And that's where that's the very reason why Kalani was entertaining the offers and the packages from Penn State, because as he said, I'm a competitor, which means I want to win at as high as I possibly can go. And BYU said, well, what can we do? And he talked about it, communication. You can go listen to it. We had this communication, and basically they appeased him. And then he came to the point where, and I just got too much history here, and they're doing all these things, so I'm going to stay. And that's great news. That's great. It's double great news for the BYU fans.
It's not just that he's staying. It's that the program's going to be funded in a way he thinks the program needs to be funded.
Exactly.
To compete at the level they want to compete at, that he knows he's going to be held accountable for competing at.
Yes. Precisely. Yeah, that's an excellent point, that he is going to be held accountable for that. So you want to be able to have that funded. Yeah. And those guys know.
He'll be Mike Tomlin if they're out there going 7-5, 5-7.
The coaches know more than I know. All I can go by is what they tell me. And when I hear somebody tell me, hey, Texas Tech's defensive line, you add those guys together, what they're getting, it equals almost our entire team. Well, what the heck are you supposed to do with that? That's the reality of the situation.
I know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get beat. In some cases, you might get beat twice. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in Arlington on Saturday, but we got an idea. That D-line's still going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they'll tweak things. I'm sure they've studied the Sun Devils because that's the only team that's beaten Tech this year. And they've clearly, Chase Roberts talked about it, they've gone back and looked at the game film and the mistakes they made because they're going to have to bring their A game, obviously.
Right. I've been in intense conversations as a Sun Devil with Aaron Roderick and Fesi Sitake.
Nice.
Harvey Unga.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's some plays, guys.
Yeah. I watched the game.
I know you did. Hey, this worked. And they're like,
actually, I only watched the first half. Because then we had to go. It preceded the BYU-Utah game, so we did a big pregame that I had to be down in Provo that I was at. And I didn't have my computer. And right in front of me were Alex and Jake Scott. They were watching, so they were telling me. But then I went back and saw it and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean that's common. How did one team do it? Well, yeah, they had Levitt and Jordan Tyson able to do their thing, and away they go, and good for them. And can you recreate that? It's not out of the question, but it's going to be difficult because that's a well-paid, well-coached, well-stocked, talent-wise team. They got what they paid for, and good on them. I'm not. That sounds like snarky jealousy. No, good on them, man. No one's saying they did anything that you're not supposed to do. That's the way of the world now.
And if you don't do it, then you'll end up 8-4 or 4-8.
Yeah. Am I going to criticize the Dodgers?
I am.
No.
Losers, $1 billion. You just bought it. You bought it.
Great. Good for them. And they needed Miguel Rojas to come through and be the best role player, making the biggest biggest plays they've ever had.
They really did. They were just flying. They were sleepwalking through the regular season. Yeah. We just need 90 to get in. Then they were flying through the National League playoffs and then the World Series. Everybody.
Down to the end.
Hey, you.
They literally won by an inch.
What's your name? I don't know, but
they won by an inch with Paez making the play in the outfield. They won by an inch with Rojas throwing the runner out at the plate.
They won by an inch with the ball sticking under the wall, which had nothing to do with it.
And then that other one, when Hernandez catches the ball on a dead run in left field and throws a hopper that Rojas it knocks him down, and he still manages to keep his foot on the base to get the final out.
Yep.
You paid for whomever, the best second baseman in the world, Joe Morgan or whomever you think was the Honus Wagner, or whoever the best Ryan Sandberg, whomever you think was the best all-time second baseman. I don't know if he makes those plays.
Famous people named Honus. Go.
That's all I know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
If he played today and got a big contract coming out of college, he would have been a Honus baby.
Nice. Bonus Honus.
People, where can you? I can give you information, and then I lay upon you a Honus baby. Where else can you get that?
Only one place. The mold has been broken.
Yeah.
Of all the feedback we got this morning, how about this one?
What?
Joseph, not a BYU fan, but I think he's the perfect fit for BYU. And I can't blame him for using the situation as leverage to improve his situation and the assistants around him.
And the program. And he's a steward of the program, too. That's another thing, man. This man really cares about the program. And he is one of the most, if not the most loving coach I've ever been around in terms of loving his fellow man, following the example of Jesus. And they talk about that, and it means something to them. And I don't make light of it whatsoever. But this man truly loves his fellow man and fellow woman. That is just on display all the time.
And I think the best place for it to be on display for people who don't have access to him and don't get to interact and don't get to see that and hear that in tone of his voice, listen to all the different broadcasters and the way they talk about him. And then listen to all the players and the way they talk about him. Like, he's having a lot of those interactions with a lot of people that you hear from, and you keep hearing that over and over.
Yeah. That's sort of a little bit of a drive-by thing. It's important. I go more on the people who see him all the time. I covered him as a player. That's how freaking old I am.
I know.
I am
I'm with
76 years old.
Fullback.
And
you are not 76 years old.
But I was the beat writer his last year. Well, I'm not. I turned 76 here shortly. So you're right.
Just making stuff up.
And I was there, and you saw it in him then. And as he's gone all these different places, there must have been at least, 50 people in that room. He literally hugged every one of them. Literally every single person there. He didn't go right to Hatback Billionaire. He didn't go right to Crumble Dude, the dudes with the big money.
Off to our right, where there were a lot of we were sitting in front of the podium, and then there were people standing on both sides and at the back of the room. And he was over to our right, and he started in the back of the room, and he literally went right down the line, each and every person.
Yeah, I thought we were going to run out of time because I thought your hug was just too long.
Oh, I thought it was just right.
No, it
was
needed
just
to be
right.
at least a minute and a half
it-
shorter.
Okay, here's the
I
thing.
thought it was.
Yeah.
It lingered.
Right. It's like, break
How
it
long?
up.
It lingered too long.
I was almost going to say get a room.
Oh, dude. Why you got to be like that?
Let him go. He's got other people
He's
to
got
hug.
film to
Okay,
watch.
two things. Number one, is recalling a moment that we had shared years, if not decades earlier, because
that you brought up. Couldn't you just
And-
said, hey, congratulations, and boom? Did you have to talk his head off?
He had something to add about that. So,
Right,
then
because
there it was.
he felt awkward. The guy's not letting me go. He's telling me a long-winded story that's
this is-
25 years old.
This is all probably true.
Yeah. He's like, but I got this rep. I can't say, hey, shut up. I got to go because I just built up. He was crying. Everybody was emotional in the room.
No. I waited till he pulled it together. He wasn't sobbing.
No, not at that time.
No.
I'm talking about prior. He obviously got choked up.
Oh, he got choked up.
This means a lot to him.
He seriously got choked up probably 3 times actually during that. There were some long pauses in there while he gathered himself.
If I'm a BYU fan, I feel great about having him as my coach because it means as much to him as it does to me if I were a BYU fan. And we know fans and what it means to them.
Well, you always talk about maybe it's time for School X. You said it about many schools. Maybe it's time for School X to hire one of their guys. There've been a bunch of people going through there every 3 or 4 years or less, and they put on the hat and they say it's a great day to be a fill-in-blank nickname here. And woo! And yet they're going to get an offer and be out the door in 2, 3, 4 years, or they're going to fire in 2, 3, 4 years. And he played there. He's got a 20, I can't even do the math now. What is that? Almost a 30-year history, actually, with the school. And it gets to be that big a chunk of your life, of course it's going to mean something.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's just no question about it. And he's so authentic. You see, I talk about Jim Moore and his wife.
That was the latest example. It's a great day to be a Ram.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, man.
3 weeks ago.
I know. Yeah.
Or maybe they fired Norvell a little earlier, so maybe he had conversations, but a year ago, whatever. And if you have young children, they paint their faces. And that's the great thing. Kalani references his wife and his kids, but you ever seen him around?
Yes.
Not much.
Nope.
They're not. Were they even there? Were they in that room?
I did not see them in the room.
Right.
I saw his one daughter. I did not see his wife.
Well, his one daughter works there.
Yes, and she was there.
Okay. So she's an employee.
Yeah, but
But like, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
It's legitimate. It's not phony. It's not in the moment. They didn't have to have his young children paint their faces with the BYU Cougar logo and all that nonsense. You're a hired hand, and that's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like I grew up thinking, oh my gosh, my life would be complete if I worked for KSL. I mean, I didn't even know about KSL till I moved to Utah. Right? And here I am as an employee, and I'm grateful for it. But you get the point. And here, this is something that means so much to him, and it means so much to the fans. That's the thing I always used to say about when we'd go down to Pac-12 media interview days, and I'd see Todd Graham, and I'd see Herm Edwards. To taste me, it makes me sick to say his name. It's like, you're not a Sun Devil. I'm a Sun Devil. You're not a Sun Devil. Don't give me this crap. I didn't buy it.
And this isn't going to work either.
Well,
Next.
Yeah, probably did. Well, Graham had a little decent run.
Yeah.
Herm could have had, but they got astray. But Dillingham, I feel like I'm talking to a peer.
Case, never in question. Sitake used the opportunity to leverage greater funds. He's no dummy.
Yeah, but see, then I've got guys on the staff telling me I thought we were gone. So maybe to you it was never in question, but to guys on his staff that were going to go, they thought they were gone.
Contacting realtors.
And how about this? How about it if it had been Bronco?
If what had been Bronco?
He gets the offer from Penn State. Does he go?
Ooh. The second mountain. Maybe the third mountain for Bronco.
You never know.
You'll never know. Maybe we'll find out.
But what we
gotta go
do
find
know
somebody.
is one of your own
Is
said,
staying put.
I want to be here.
Yeah. And the fact is, it's gone really well the last 2 years, and so people feel great. And I do wonder, you get 3-4 years down the road, if it isn't going great, all the he referenced the love bomb and all the people who reached out to him in different ways, the people he didn't even know. But in 3 or 4 years, there's a time Mike Tomlin.
You got to win.
Yeah, there it is. Mike Tomlin was beloved in Pittsburgh, and now he's here in Booze.
Okay, but that's not. I don't think it was just 3 and 4 years after a Super Bowl.
No,
it was.
It's taken some time to get to this.
And they don't have a quarterback.
That is the single biggest problem.
After Roethlisberger retired, they've been. Who's next?
When we come back, breaking news in the Big 12. Yak just telling us about it right now. We will get to that next. Stay with us.